I've been representing Glendale and the Armenian community going back to 2005 of my work as a Glendale City Commissioner and then as a Glendale Council member and mayor. And when people ask me about my district, people will say, where are you from? Tell us about your district. I don't talk about the film studios. I don't talk about the Hollywood sign. I always start with the same thing, that I get to represent the largest community of Armenians outside of Armenia in the world. And that is what makes my district so special. I have lived in Glendale since 2000. And I have found the community to be an unbelievably vibrant and beautiful community that has been nothing but welcoming to me and my family. I want to thank all of your children for having taught my 7th grader, who's at Toll Middle School, Armenian, so that she can say things to me when she's mad at me in a language that I can't understand and that my husband can't understand. But she is so wrapped in Armenian love every single day, as my family is in our community. Armenian Genocide remembrance is very somber, and it's an important time for us to reflect on the generational trauma that event has caused and what it has done for the community, which now is, of course, a diaspora community. But it's also a time to remember that the greatest revenge of the Armenian community is its success around the world, and certainly here in the United States. And the reason that the genocide is now recognized by the United States, of course, we have these incredible leaders with Senator Schiff and with Nancy Pelosi and Representative Pallone, but it's because of the tenacity and the unity of the Armenian Americans here in this nation that this has become an issue that cannot be ignored all the way into the White House. That is what you have done. Watching over 1 million people march in Los Angeles to recognize the genocide is something that 20, 30 years ago would have just been unthinkable. But that is because of the determination and resiliency of the Armenian American community. And that is something that I am tremendously proud of and grateful for. So I want to thank you for that. And yes, when I was a board member of the California Legislative Armenian Caucus, I had the opportunity to visit Armenia and to go to Artsakh. And that, of course, was before Azerbaijan's unprovoked and violent war against that nation. And walking through Artsakh, the Armenian history that is in every church, every building, every mountain, every field in that nation is undeniable. And the thought of the cultural erasure that is going on right now in plain view of the world is heartbreaking and completely unacceptable. So you have my pledge to continue standing alongside you with the rest of the Armenian Caucus here in Congress to make sure that the prisoners of war are not forgotten and left behind, that we cut off military aid to Azerbaijan and all other aid to that nation which has committed atrocities, to make sure that what is an obvious threat to Armenia itself from its neighbors cannot be acted on, and that the United States is there for our ally, for Armenia. And also to make sure that the genocide remembrance is not just taught, that the genocide is not just taught in the LA school system as it is, but that becomes part of curriculums around the nation. Some of you know that Glendale is in the middle of building the Armenian American Museum, something that I was able to help secure $3 million for when I was an assembly member, but that really was funded through the dollars of this community. All of that is not just about remembering the past, but protecting Armenia and Armenians' future. That's what that education is about. That's why it's so important. So thanks to all of you for being here. Thanks for all of the work that you do. I am so proud and humbled to be so many of your representatives in Los Angeles, and I look forward to working with you on all of these issues moving forward.